Thank you very much for inviting me to speak to you today. What we're going to be talking about today is a solution for hospitals. As a matter of fact, the solution is called Predictive Population Analytics. Predictive Population Analytics is a term that is very much in the current today. Hospitals, as a result of the Affordable Care Act, are challenged with revenue constraints. Many of you understand, since you are in rural communities, many of you understand the significance of the perils that are involved right now. Do you join an association of other hospitals? Do you remain independent? Do you join accountable care organizations? Questions like this require you to decide what changes do you need to make to your operation. And when you have a small hospital, any change can be wrought with difficult decision making. In other words, which of your existing providers is going to offer the service? Who are you going to bring in to offer new services? Which people in your community are going to show up and avail themselves of the services that you're offering? Predictive Population Analytics addresses some of the hospital's unique challenges, which are government-caused revenue problems. As a matter of fact, last week, which was the last week in October, Medicare, CMS, again said that they're going to target 1,000 critical access hospitals and eliminate them from that designation. And you know the cost plus revenue model that critical access hospital designation brings to your hospitals. And this is under attack. Again, payers are also modeling themselves as they have continually under Medicare. And what does this mean? It means that the hospitals commercial payers are going after the hospitals in a way that attacks their revenues. Employers in your community are also taking advantage of the turmoil and driving harder bargains than you deserve to have to accept. And yet, you're confronted with small community providers responding to their marketplace. And speaking of providers, the physicians that partner with you are also forming their own groups or being bought out by other hospital organizations, challenging your ability to bring provider to the programs that you want to introduce. So one of the solutions that we have is taking advantage of the new data that is existing today. If you are a member of an accountable care organization, or if you accept Medicare payments, or if you have commercial payers, you create data for them. And the government wants you to share that data liberally to bring down the cost of medicine. But what does that do to you? It causes you to lose revenue if the patients leave your facility to go somewhere else. However, the data is there. It is your data. You created this data. Let's work together with data from claims files, non-traditional sources. Stan goes on the computer all the time, looking up medical conditions, real or imagined. But he creates a profile of himself in a non-traditional, non-medical way that can be used to help your hospital create programs. For example, Stan and I might be challenged in the hair department. Who knows what program your hospitals can produce for people similarly situated as Stan and myself, and therefore create revenue by creating a program or a rural health clinic to address the needs that we have. These are ways that data can present itself, and we will help you create opportunities. As a matter of fact, we want to be involved to help you identify these hospital revenue opportunities. We offer a disciplined, systematic approach to both the microanalysis and the macro analysis of what the data presents. In our micro risk analysis, we are going to focus on the population characteristics down to the diagnostic profiles of your patients and the people that have been in your hospital and clinics. because I know you are more than hospitals. You also have other clinics currently. We're going to take these diagnostic profiles and interpolate them with the treatment cost data. And that means we're going to be able to estimate prospective revenue streams varying by the various diagnostic groups that we've identified. And when we aggregate these, we're going to be able to come up with prospective revenues. And that's what we're talking about. Prospective revenues uncovered by analyzing the data that you have created and that are available to us. And the macro analysis, we're going to be able to take these prospective revenue streams and project them forward to forecast possible scenarios. And these scenarios are going to help you create revenue sources to capture what we see in that population. And because we combine people with skills in casualty analysis as well as healthcare analysis, as well as other risk management solution prospecting, we look at the data uniquely compared to other people that offer data solutions or predictive data modeling. We're going to examine possible trends under all sorts of different scenarios on the on the hospital patients that you have, the people that are assigned to you, the Medicare beneficiaries, the commercial payer people, all of those people we're going to look at. And we're going to look at the exposure and risk profiles. We're going to make sure that they're thoroughly examined from every single perspective we can. And these will support a better informed business model for managing those risks. And that sounds like a lot of insurance talk. Well, it's true, because the people that we are assembled to help you make better decisions are all insurance people that support not commercial insurance companies, but self-insured groups and captive insurance companies, which are essentially formalized self-insured companies. And because of the unique nature of our existing clients, we're going to help the hospitals look at generating revenues exactly the way other businesses look at generating revenues from the data that they collect. In addition, we're going to also help you negotiate with payers. So on top of everything else, you've got another arrow in your quiver for getting revenue from the data, from the commercial payers that you're currently negotiating with. And most importantly, we are offering this predictive population analytics within a risk retention group for hospitals, which means that you no longer have to have one carrier for your hospital professional liability, but you can also have that same company, the risk retention group that you all are familiar with. Most of you use a risk retention group currently, but to provide revenue for your hospitals back. Now, doesn't an insurance company have a responsibility to you in addition to paying claims to help you grow your revenue? I think the answer is yes. And therefore, we're proposing that this predictive population analytics is a solution as part of your risk retention group. And thank you for inviting me today to your meeting.